everybody. I'm Erica Siebert. I'm Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Civitas Senior Living. Civitas Senior Living is a national provider for independent living, assisted living, and memory care. And we're excited because we like to get in front of all the topics and news that would be interesting to you. And this month's topic is all about money matters. And so we're excited that we've got a special guest, Miss Emily Schwartz. She is VP of Sales and Marketing for Elder Life Financial. And she's really going to be diving in and giving everyone some educational tips on how Veterans Benefits pays for senior living. This is a hot topic because there are a lot of ways that most families are unfamiliar with the value of what Veterans Benefits and the aid and attendance can provide wartime veterans and their spouses with additional tax-free income per month. So as we go through these amazing topics and speaker series, your money does matter, and we're bringing you experts to answer those questions. So Emily, I'm so excited that you're providing this information for our audience. And if you don't mind, a quick intro, and then I would love to jump right into it.
Okay, well, thank you so much for having me. This is such a valuable topic. This is one of the best and hidden ways to pay for senior living. Veterans and spouses do not know about it, so I am thrilled to be able to share this with your audience today. So as you mentioned, I'm Emily Schwartz. I'm the VP of Sales for Elder Life Financial. Prior to my time at Elder Life, I actually spent 14 years educating people about the VA's aid and attendance benefit. So I have a real sweet spot for this benefit, and I'm thrilled to go through the criteria, the benefit amounts, and just about anything else you're going to want to learn. So let's get started.
Perfect. Thank you.
So a little bit about Elder Life and how we're able to provide this information to you and what we do. We are the financial aid office for senior living. We do help families with all the different types of financial resources that you see on the screen. But today we're going to focus just on the VA's aid and attendance benefit. If you are interested in any of these other topics, our team can certainly connect you with that information. But truly, we want to be that financial aid office for senior living, identifying and coordinating resources for families that need care. So the aid and attendance benefit. The aid and attendance benefit in 2023 can provide up to $31,000 for a veteran family. What you're seeing on the screen right now are the 4 monthly maximum benefit amounts in 2023. Now you're probably wondering, are these benefit amounts going to go up for 2024? Benefits for VA always go up with the cost of living adjustment. They typically match Social Security. So if you're asking me, I am going to guess the way inflation's going, that these benefit amounts will increase significantly for 2024. But there are 4 monthly maximums. You can only receive one. So a surviving spouse this year gets $1,432 a month. A single veteran can receive $2,229 a month, and a married veteran can receive one of 2 benefit amounts. If the veteran is needing care and moving into the community, the veteran is eligible for $2,642 if they are also married. Essentially, they get about $400 more than that single veteran that needs care. Now, the 1750 number is one that people are often not familiar with. That is when the veteran is healthy, but the spouse needs care in a community. The veteran can actually ask the VA to help pay for his spouse's care needs and care costs, and the VA will provide that veteran $1,750 a month. You might also be wondering, are these benefits taxable? They are not. These benefits are tax-free, and the veteran or the surviving spouse will receive 100% of these numbers. Hence, the married veteran can receive over $31,000 a year. They're also paid directly to the family, not to the community. So once someone is awarded this benefit, the VA will deposit their pension benefit on the first of the month, every single month, as long as they're needing and receiving care. So this is an amazing benefit. Let's take a look at the criteria that families need to meet in order to start receiving these benefits. So the first and most important criteria, and the first thing Elder Life does when we're speaking with you, is we double check that you or your loved one is a wartime veteran. So there are many veteran benefits, and many of them you can get if you're not a wartime veteran, such as disability benefits or healthcare benefits or burial benefits. But this benefit, you must have served at least 1 day of active duty during a wartime period. The wartime periods are what you see on the screen. We will also screen that if you contact us for assistance, but you need to have served during World War II, Korea, Vietnam, or the Gulf War. For the top 3 wars, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, you also need to have served a total of 90 active duty days. So again, that's 1 day during wartime, a total of 90 active duty days. If you are a Gulf War veteran, you need to have served 24 months of active duty. Now, neither of those numbers did I say those days have to be consecutive. So in theory, you could have served 30 days, 30 days, 30 days. That is still 90 days of active duty. All you need is one of them during a wartime period. The other thing that people often mistake is that you do not have to have served in the combat zone. You could have served anywhere in the entire world, even the United States, as long as you were active duty during a wartime period. You do need an honorable medical or general discharge. You will need your discharge papers in order to apply for this benefit, not to have a conversation with us, but to do the application for the VA, and we can help you find your discharge papers if you don't have them. And a surviving spouse has to apply on her most recent husband's service. So that means if there was a divorce, unfortunately, she is no longer considered a surviving spouse. If she remarries a non-wartime veteran in a second or third marriage, you have to apply on that last marriage, and that would disqualify that spouse from this benefit. So after we determine that someone is a wartime veteran and meets the military requirements, we're then going to check on the medical needs, on the health requirements. So the VA, in order to approve someone for this benefit, wants to know that the claimant, the applicant, the veteran or the spouse, or maybe both of them, needs help from the community with either 2 activities of daily living or a cognitive impairment. So 2 activities of daily living are as simple as a shower assist. A shower assist is a helping hand getting in and out of the shower safely and getting redressed safely. That's bathing and dressing. However, that senior might also need help getting to the restroom, maybe feeding, which is not meal preparation, it's actual feeding, transferring, or ambulating. So oftentimes people do need help with bathing, dressing, transferring, or ambulating. Those are 4 very common activities of daily living. Now, if you or your loved one has a diagnosis of dementia or Alzheimer's, it is not required that you show that you also need help with activities of daily living. The diagnosis of that cognitive impairment, that memory issue, is enough to medically qualify you for the benefit. We have a couple of other diagnoses on here like Parkinson's, macular degeneration. Those diagnoses can also qualify you for the benefit. So how do you prove that you're medically eligible? You do not need a folder of medical evidence submitted to the VA. In fact, this is actually one of the simplest criteria. There is a 3-page medical form that needs to be completed by any doctor. People think you need to go to a VA medical center or VA doctor to fill out that form. Not correct. Even though it's a VA form, it can be completed by any doctor or nurse practitioner, could be your neurologist, your primary care physician, the community doctor. Very simple. All the VA is looking for is that you need some assistance from another person on a regular basis. The third criteria of the benefit is income. And this is one that people often get tripped up on if they take a look at the internet and they try to understand this without some professional expertise that we have. So the VA is going to look at all incomes that are coming into the household. So that means even if only one part of the couple needs care at the community, the VA is going to count all incomes from both spouses. So they look at Social Securities, pensions, wages if one part of the couple is still working, rental income, investment income, any interest or dividends. Anything that can pay for the community is an income. The VA, though, will allow you to subtract your care expenses, your medical expenses. They do not let you subtract things like your mortgage or your taxes or your utilities or your food if you're living at home. When you move into a community, they will allow you to count the entire monthly rent and care of the assisted living, of the memory care. If you're using adult daycare, that would also count. Home care, and any health insurance or long-term care insurance premiums. The VA is looking for reoccurring monthly medical expenses that can be deducted from your income to bring that income down. Why is it important to bring the income down? Because if you demonstrate to the VA that you are spending all of your income on care, all of your income at the community, the VA will then award you one of those 4 big benefit amounts that we looked at on that first slide: $1,432, $2,229, $1,750, or $2,642. So the top example is what families typically have. This is the normal equation. Most people have around $2,600 of income coming in, and they're spending about $4,000 on their care expenses. In this equation, it looks like the family actually is negative $1,400, but the VA doesn't go negative in their calculations. So as long as you're spending all of your monthly income on your care, the VA will award you one of those 4 big benefit amounts. That's why most people moving into senior living get the full VA pension. Now, if you have high income, but you're still spending the same amount on care. So the second example is a family with high income. They probably have 2 Social Securities, 2 pensions. They are getting $4,600 a month, and the care cost remains at $4,000. The VA will actually say they have a positive net income of $600. Many families think that's a great savings. They're able to retain some of that income because they're not spending it all on care. What actually happens then is the VA reduces your VA benefit by the same amount. So instead of awarding the family the full $2,642 for a married veteran who needs care, they will award them approximately $2,042. So you've saved $600, but the VA is going to take back $600. I usually like to teach people that the best number is 0. When your income and your care costs are exactly even, your net income is 0. And that will help you get the maximum benefit amount. You want to make sure you're not leaving any money on the table with a VA, because this is a wonderful pension that's also, as I said before, tax-free. So the last criteria of this benefit is assets. And every year the VA has a new asset limit. This also goes up every year with the cost of living adjustment. So whatever the COLA is going to be for Social Security for 2024, that will get factored into this asset limit and it will increase. So let's say next year is probably going to be around 160, but we're still in 2023. So this year's asset limit is slightly over $150,000. That's a lot of money. People oftentimes think that they're not eligible for this benefit because they have too much in savings. But the VA is pretty generous. They're letting you have $150,000 in savings. And if you're reading my slide, they will also let you have your primary residence. So your primary residence doesn't count, as well as 2 acres around that primary residence. They also don't count burial policies, prepaid funerals, vehicles, and personal property. You can't pay senior living with any of these items. Now, if you sell your house, That money is going to go into a bank account. So let's look at the other side of the slide. What do they ask you to disclose on your application, and what can make you asset excessive? They look at your bank accounts, checking and savings, CDs, annuities, IRAs, 401ks, mutual funds, stocks, bonds, and any other pieces of real estate, second home, a farm, commercial real estate, anything that is not your primary residence. Now, just like with income, they're also going to look at both parts of the couple. So sometimes people think the healthy person's IRA is not going to count. It is. It's assets that can help pay for the unhealthy person. So any money that can pay for senior living is going to be an asset. Now, most families we speak with are eligible for this criteria, but I'd say about 15% of families are quite fortunate and they are over the asset limit, or they will be because they're selling their primary residence. So we are able to help all families. If they're under the asset limit and they've already met the other 3 criteria, we're able to help them. If they're over the asset limit, we're actually going to educate them and provide referrals to partners that are able to help with appropriate VA planning or a VA accredited attorney to help you become eligible for this benefit in the future. This benefit does have a 3-year look back with any VA planning. However, that is much more generous than Medicaid with a 5-year look back period. So if you want to investigate this benefit and you know you're over this asset limit, now is the best time to start looking into this benefit and how to qualify in the future. So how do we help with this benefit? Now that you understand a little bit more about the 4 criteria, you probably have a good idea of whether or not you're eligible today or whether you could be eligible in the future. So when you connect with ElderLife, we have you speak with our aid and attendance team. Our team will take you and your family through those 4 criteria in at whatever speed you want. So if you want to go super fast like I just did, or you need 15, 20, 30 minutes to go through each criteria, totally fine. We're going to help you understand how to get those additional funds. And we're going to determine the next best steps for your family to take. If you're eligible shortly because you're moving into senior living, we're going to recommend that you use our online application tool. So we have an online application called aidandattendance.com. It's very similar to TurboTax. So if any of you have ever done taxes online with TurboTax or Quicken, TaxAct, some tax preparation software, that's what we have. This is a very long application if you try to do it yourself by pen and paper. It's actually 30 pages long. So our online application helps simplify the process. You will log in and be able to enter your information throughout 10 tabs, and it will help you create a perfect application that can be printed out for the veteran or the spouse to sign, the doctor to sign, and your community to sign. Then you're able to mail or fax it off to the VA with your supporting documents. Our online applications typically are approved by the VA in 3 to 4 months. And the cost to use our very smart online application starts at only $299. We do also offer a bridge loan, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute, but our bridge loans help people move into the community, successfully apply for their VA benefits while they're waiting for that money to start coming in from the VA. As you can imagine, you might submit your application tomorrow, but the money is not going to arrive the very next day. The VA is going to have to review your documents and determine if you're eligible and for how much, and then they're going to need to start sending out those payments. Of course, you probably want to move in tomorrow, and so we're going to help solve that gap between the time you apply and want to move into the community and when you're approved. So let's talk about the VA's retroactive benefits. Something wonderful about this benefit that the VA does is they provide back pay. So if you get your claim opened with the VA by the last business day of September or any month, but we're in September right now, then the VA will owe you money starting October 1. Once you're approved, let's say in January or February, the VA is going to give you whatever monthly amount you're entitled to, the $1,432 all the way up to the $2,642 for October, November, December, January, and they'll deposit all of that money into your bank account in February. That's a great way to either repay the bridge loan that Elder Life is going to offer you, or just replenish your savings account, because the VA is going to back pay to the first of the month after you open your claim. It's very important to remember to always open your claim by the last business day of any month, so you do not lose out on next month's money. You can either submit your entire 30-page application, which we hope you produce on our online platform, or even just a one-page intent to file form, which we also offer families. The intent to file is a great way to squeak in right at the end of the month. Let's say we're at September 28th, 29th, 30th. That would be a great solution, because chances are you will not have the entire application completed and signed by the last business day of the month. That intent to file will still hold your place to receive October's money. So I've mentioned the bridge loan that Elder Life offers. The purpose of the bridge loan is to help you be able to move into the community and successfully apply for this benefit, because you want to document what community you're spending money at and have them sign it, even though you don't have the resources today. So what Elder Life does is it bridges the gap from the time you need and want the care to the time you can afford the care. You do have VA money coming back to you. You will have monthly VA money coming in for as long as you're living at the community. You just don't have money today. And so our bridge loans help people when they're trying to get their VA application in. We actually will supply your community 2 months of money. Whatever amount the VA is going to give you, we will give your community on your behalf before you've submitted the application. And our bridge loans will lend families money for up to 12 months. I don't think it's going to take that long to get your VA benefits approved, but just so you know, our bridge loans do go 12 months. We also lend money, by the way, if someone is trying to sell their home. We give families 90 days to get their homes listed. Many times you need to fix up your house and get it on the market in tip-top shape. Well, how do you do that if you have mom and dad living in the home rather than the community? Well, we're going to make it possible for you to move into the senior living community while you are waiting for that house to get listed and sold, because we're going to provide those funds. We really just want to minimize stress for everyone involved, parents, kids, and senior living professionals. We want to make sure everybody maximizes the value of their home. We want to make sure the adult children do not have to contribute. Obviously, that's kind of hard sometimes for families. And we want to be able to help you move in when you want to move in. So we're able to fund a bridge loan for a family in as little as 24 hours. I've actually seen some go through in 5 hours. But if you're in the slow lane and you're not quite ready to get it done that quickly, that's okay too. We will work at whatever pace your family is able to work at. And then we send those bridge loan funds directly to your community. So you don't need to worry about making sure that invoice gets paid. All you do is contact Elder Life and we will send the funds directly to your senior living community, which will make it so much easier for that monthly bill to be paid on time. We will also add in additional funds to any bridge loan if you need to make some home repairs, or if there's a lot of cost in moving expenses. Maybe you're moving across the country and that mover is going to cost a lot of money. We're able to lend you those funds as well, and they go directly to the family. And finally, we also lend families the initial community fee. Oftentimes when you're moving into the community, there is that initial community fee, and we are able to add that into the bridge loan as well, again, to make things even simpler for you and your family. So how do you contact Elder Life Financial? How do you get started investigating your aid and attendance eligibility and maybe asking some questions about our other resources or our VA bridge loan? Here's how you do it. You email help@elderlifefinancial.com. Help@elderlifefinancial.com. Super easy. All we need is your name, your phone number. We're obviously going to have your email from that message. And if you want to share a little bit about why you're contacting us, that will help us even more in that first conversation. Alternatively, you can call our friendly financial concierge team, 888-228-4500. We are on Central Time. We are open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. Central. We are more than happy to answer your questions whenever you give us a call. If you do email us, our financial concierge team will reach out to you. That is why we need your phone number. Lastly, you're obviously looking at this on the internet. So if you would like, you can immediately go to elderlifefinancial.com. That is our website. You can check out all the resources that we have available. You can put an inquiry in right there, and our financial concierge team will give you a call as soon as possible. You can even do a bridge loan application right on our website. So I truly appreciate being invited today to share about this amazing benefit that can help families afford the care that they need.
Thank you so much, Emily. And thank you, everybody, for watching and learning about veterans benefits and how they can benefit you and your money matters. You can also find more information about our Civitas communities at civitasseniorliving.com, where you can find the community closest to you. On our website, we also have additional information on how to pay for senior living and links to Elder Life Financial. Again, thank you guys so much for your time. We're here to help you with the different resources and answer any questions that you might have. But Emily, it's been a pleasure. Thank you again for your time today.